Alright, so it's your boy Alpha Romanus, Ofo Romanus, and as you already know, one of the pioneers of Ghana stand-up comedy. And we've been fighting this for over a decade now, and we're still grinding. And we thank God, comedy is picking up, and comedy is gradually gaining its grounds. People are incorporating comedy in their events. People are looking out for the next comedian, the next comedy show. So yeah, we give thanks to God, and we hope that it will be better than it is now. Most ministries is to preach love and is to preach Christ. Love in the sense that Christ admonishes us to portray love to one another, show love and care to the less privileged and needy. So that's basically what we aim to achieve, and then also preach Christ, who is the base for our religion, Christianity. And as a Christian, that is the best I can do. Preach Christ and tell people how Christ is the only way to heaven. Yeah, so it's basically it. And so we are using it through not only comedy, but comedy as one of the channels, and then there will be other subsequent events. So we launched it just to make a statement out there that this is what the next step or the next direction for Romanus. So they should watch out. We are still packaging it. Well, I don't think I'm doing what he is doing. What he is doing is Christian comedy, yes, but mine is based on the Bible. I'm doing jokes not outside the church, like what speaking on churchy stuff, or not talking about what do we call it, vulgar stuff. No, I am basing my jokes from the Bible. So like the launch, I did strictly jokes from the book of Genesis, and in the consequent ones I'll be doing it from Exodus, from Revelations, and that hasn't been done anywhere in the world before. Yes, there are comedians who are doing Christian comedy, but no one has done it from the Bible, picking the books Genesis. There was one guy, but he was an atheist, and he actually was mocking the Bible and started from Genesis and like that. But I'm just bringing in that aspect of fun from the Bible. So I'm doing it book by book, and that's something none of the comedians are doing. I still stand by that. The fact that comedy hasn't gained grounds does not mean that you take comedians for granted, because the career of a comedian is the most difficult as compared to any other art form. Why do I say that? A musician can sing one song on several platforms any other day. I read a review of Francis Doku on DKB's point of view, and I saw one thing that was very, very peculiar about his point of view, that some repeated jokes, meaning that even though it's not wrong for a comedian to repeat a joke, if a comedian repeats a joke, it is assumed that he's lacking content, or he is not up to the task. So you see, it's always difficult to come up with content and to stay evergreen. So there should be value on what we do, and what we do is unique. It is not as music where you have people singing alongside, or giving them the whole song and they singing for you and you just dancing on stage. You have to talk, you have to engage. You don't even know who is in the audience, who is broken-hearted, who is just bereaved, who is what. But you have to make them laugh, and that is the toughest decision, or the toughest career, so to speak. So my take is, if you're bringing Nigerians or foreign comedians, yeah, they have their worth, but at least respect us to the extent that even if you're not giving us equal treatment, at least we feel that yes, in my hometown, in my home grounds, you respected me. Don't call me and tell me it is a platform. If I hadn't created platform for myself, how did you even know me in the first place? And why do you think that my being on that platform will affect your show? If my being on your platform will not affect your show, why call me in the first place? So my issue is whether you were calling the person as an opener, or as they don't pay you, they want to give you what they think you deserve, or they want to find a way of getting you on the platform as a way of giving you a platform, like for people to know you and call you for event. I'm like, what is this form of cheap popularity? Popularity without anything to show for. What is the essence? So if you're calling me to give me the platform, Pay me, because we are both gaining. I'm helping your show, you're also helping me. So don't think you're only doing me a favor. I performed on the Night of Laughs when I started comedy in 2006.
Okay.
But then I did a duet with David Oscar.
Okay.
That was on April 2006. I remember it very well. Okay. So we did that. I did a duet with David Oscar for 2003, 2004 respectively. And then it was, I think, on 2019 in Takrady that I got to do a stand-up. And 1,000 Laughs is like the peak now, is like the greatest platform in comedy. So it was yeah, I felt happy, and I was a bit nervous because then now you have to prove your work. You'll be making noise every day telling people, yeah, I can do it. Now the stage or the way has been created, so it's about time you actually made a mark. And thanks be to God, we went on that platform. We've never looked back. It's been from success to success. I don't call them upcoming comedians.
Okay.
I call them colleagues because they do what I do and they are as good as I am. Yeah, so I don't call them up and coming. And they are good in their own field. That's one thing I love about our fraternity. You have almost every comedian in there having his own unique style. EKB is the blunt style. He will just tell you how it is. He won't mince words. He will tell you straightforward. If it's an insult, it's an insult. If it's the reality, it's the reality. Ajeze, as you know, has a style, the non-fat thing, which is so brilliant. OB is I came to have fun type. He comes and he goes. Vulgar, no, I don't see it as that. It depends on what you're talking about and where the punchline is coming from. You can't tell me that if he's talking about how his mom relates to him and how a typical Ghanaian mother will relate to a situation. And you all know that in that instance, the Ghanaian woman will go like, with an insult. How does he then say the punchline? So if it's relevant, yes, it's for the stage. That doesn't mean that's how it is. It is for the stage, and it's the story or is the routine or the joke that has made it come so. And you have to talk about stuff that are relatable. So it is not really vulgar. Besides, it's 18 plus. If the people seated there are saying that he said something that's too extravagant or something that's too huge, I don't really see that. I think that's his style, and so that was we call the day a history day because then we've had a point where someone said Ghanaian comedians couldn't fill the conference center. Well, as to how he meant by filling it, it was what he said, and people were holding it against that. So that day, seeing the National Theatre filled before even 9 p.m., it was a statement to say that Ghanaian comedy is being, one, appreciated, two, is getting its recognition, three, people want more. And the fact that people wishes to see us, grow, they wish to see that Ghana comedy has actually gained ground. And yes, we were very happy, we were astonished, we were happy, and we were proud. So that's a big one. But then I can't say a favorite because then the timing and everything, on the night, DKB was the man of the moment, so the shine was on DKB, so to speak. All the rest that passed through just came to support a brother, so I can't pinpoint someone and say, maybe probably a lay person or an outsider can say that was my favorite, but I think on the night DKB proved his bit, and then that was all was said on the night. This one must I repeat it. If you don't see KSM as a king of comedy, then you don't see DKB as a king of comedy. What makes KSM the king of comedy? I was there on the night, and when he was being carried up on stage, we followed him as king. And KSM had come to say he is now lifting his crown to the next king of comedy. So I'm asking you, what makes KSM the king of comedy? I'm not after those things. Do they laugh? That's it. If they laugh, what's their problem? You see, it's amazing. Yours is the comedian came and he gave me a good laugh. As to whether he wrote his jokes or he did not write his jokes, you don't expect him to come and read his jokes on stage. So if even he wrote them down, how do you know? It's there's one thing I believe in arts. When a person does his act and it looks so easy and it looks so refreshing, it is assumed it's not easy. That's how it is, because you should remember that before the person mounts the stage, he's done his research, gotten his facts, rehearsed for God knows how long until that day. So once he's done his rehearsals and has prepared adequately, I don't think that thing you're saying is. It tells me I'm doing well, and then it tells me I also have to always be ready, because I have to now go and prove why I'm being on the show for the third time, in a row. So it's a huge task, as well as it's an honor. So that's how the feeling is like. I'm happy at the same time. At the point I'm like, wow, what am I going to do? How is it going to be like? I just can't wait for the day anyways, and I hope we beat Nigeria. I think at the right time all these questions will be answered, but know that something of that sort is in the pipeline. So at the right time, you'll be the people who call to say everything or answer all these questions. But know that something I like in the pipeline. Fighting GH comedy from the year 2006, 2016 and counting. It came. We are still fighting for it, but now this is an election period, so everything you do is subsided by that. Do that. I believe in, so long as I've accepted to perform on it, I accepted it. So that is it. So I mean, I'm not talking about how much I got from that. No, I don't do that. I don't do that. If you want that, probably Chatterhouse can tell you how much they paid me, but me, I can't tell you that, because I agreed. Whether they paid me or not, I accepted to be on it. So I gave my consent to that. Yeah. So however the deliberations went, I accepted it. Event organizers who are owing me to date for performing on their platform, and they still have been paid. But I mean, it's all good. Life still goes on. So that is the basic thing. Respect our act, respect the art, respect the artist, and yeah, let's all live in harmony, because we know how much you give to your sponsors and all, how much you budget for us, and eventually you come back gaining some peanuts with that and all. And then later, when the person is telling you he's not doing it, you tend to take some form of hatred, or start saying ill stuff about the person. It's not real, man. I don't care what you say about me anyway, but it's a dream of every comedian. When you go to the States, all the big names, they all had their own specials. Kevin Hart has had almost about 3 or 4 or 5 specials. Richard Pryor, Cedric the Entertainer, Bernie Mac, the late Bernie Mac, Chris Rock, this man with the beard, what's the name? Steve Harvey. They all have their specials. So yeah, in a time to come, all the comedians in Ghana would want to have their own special. It tells how grown you become, and you're doing it for your fans. Yeah, actually. Well, anyways, I think it makes the industry nice, and it's part of music. If it's lyrical, I like it. But if it has to do with, attacking personalities, if it goes beyond lyrical, then I think then it's getting, or it's not okay. And if it's lyrical, I mean, nobody told Sarkodie he's a god of rap. But he thinks for his achievements, he deserves to be the rap god. He calls himself a boss. And the manifest also thinks that, okay, if you say you're a boss on my level, I think I'm a god. So what's a boss to a god? We say he's king of comedy, and someone will also say he's whatever of comedy, general of comedy. I say I'm king of kings. I say I'm a dancer comedian. I say those things, they are titles, they are there. If nobody gives to anybody, you can go and take it. But you just have to live up to it. That's all.